I think when I had about 6, 7 million, I had a call with KSI, and he was like so wonderful to me, you know, and being like one of the most intimidating guys in YouTube and someone I've always really, really looked up to. Mr. Beast, Casey Neistat would like all have been really helpful and wonderful, and I've had calls with most of them for advice.
Can you give us a little introduction to yourself?
TommyInnit, Tom Simons. I'm an 18-year-old sort of Minecraft streamer and in real life content creator.
You've been in the spotlight now for a few years, but
Yeah.
like before the YouTube fame, before the Twitch fame, what were you like as a teenager?
So I think my teenage years from like 13 to 15, I think was pretty standard. I was at school, I was discovering YouTube, and I was like, this is what I want to do. This is so exciting. I discovered loads of YouTubers, and each one was sort of more acquired to my taste. So I started watching these really sort of fun Minecraft Let's Plays by Sunday, and then things got a bit more serious and like subtler, like more subtly funny. By Peanut Butter Gamer. I think just as I found it, and I found WillNE and like Tom Scar's daily vlogs. I think all of this sort of added to my repertoire and taste of like what YouTube could be. The YouTube, Twitch, like the whole community felt like this extra like school system on the internet, and I didn't really enjoy school that much. So having this extra place where I really felt like I belonged and could like level up the rankings and really enjoy it. I think I poured most of my passion into that when I was sort of early teenager.
Why didn't you enjoy school?
I think it was the environment, and I really loved the routine of it. I loved going in and seeing people I liked and like didn't like, and that's something I still miss now. But I think I had like a few friends, but I think it was just that like, it almost drives you to not be yourself at school, you know? You want to belong so much that you end up doing things to impress the people that are cooler than you. And I didn't like that very much. I found that like it didn't really align with who I wanted to be. So I did YouTube for a few years, like creating it, and it was really fun. But as my school found my channel and what I was saying about wanting to fit in, I stopped because I was scared of getting made fun of. So I think I told a girl about it to try and impress her. Like I was like, yeah, you're speaking to Channel Nutpig, 200 subscribers, by the way. Oh, you don't want to go out? Okay, no, that's fine. And then I think she like told her mate, who then told everyone. And I think I had this moment where someone was just, there were like 3 people just shouting, yes, Channel Nutpig, oh yeah, Channel Nutpig. And I was sat thinking, I don't like this. I don't like being shouted. I don't like the attention in the class where I don't have any friends. I didn't like have a support circle in that moment. And I remember leaving that thinking, that sucked. I didn't like that one bit. And that wasn't worth it, because as much as I loved YouTube and like making things, it was more important to me at the time to fit in, because I was just discovering what it was like to be a teenager and like want to fit in, getting a bit older. This must have been in like year 8. And I think it was just because of school, because I was never really popular. Like I didn't like how I looked or how I sort of was for a long time. And that was natural. I just thought you're either born good looking or bad looking, and I just wasn't like happy with that. But I think as time went on and I gained more perspective, like obviously I went, oh, it doesn't matter. But while you're in school and all you want to do is fit in, I found that like challenging. And then a few years later I did Twitch, because I knew that Twitch wasn't YouTube. Yeah, and I refused to stream with like webcam, and I was super, super, super anxious to like have my camera in a stream. I think even until like 200,000 subscribers, I was still really anxious about showing my face. I had a long time where I like wished I was faceless.
It's fair to say it's gone pretty well.
Thank you.
Like, so I've got.
Buy me a drink.
I've got the stats here. In March 2020, when we went into lockdown, you were 16.
Yep.
You had 130K subs on YouTube.
Yeah.
A year later, you had 6.75 million subs. And now we're another year, a bit later, you've got 11.6 million subs.
Yeah.
That growth is absolutely insane.
Thank you.
How did that happen?
I think a lot of it was, look, if I'm honest with you, it was sort of, as sort of unfortunate as it sounds, the sort of pandemic coming together. And because my goal originally was, by the time I want to go to college, I want to be happy enough with my YouTube and like be really like have it figured out in my head, but also be able to focus on life. Because at secondary school, I wouldn't speak to anyone. In year 11, when everyone was going to parties and discovering themselves and trying alcohol, I was like, no, I was sat in my room by myself playing Minecraft, like making Hypixel videos, which I loved, right? But I thought, man, I don't want to sort of fall behind. I still want to experience life. So for me, it was right, by the time college happens, I want to have figured out YouTube. And as sort of COVID hit, I remember sort of everyone telling me, oh my God, we have like a 6-month vacation. We don't have to do anything now. We can spend like so long relaxing. And I thought, if everyone else is going to be relaxing now, they're all going to be watching YouTube. Maybe now I spend this time doing the most, like working as hard as I can while everyone else is, because then that will give me the leg. So I daily uploaded for months on end, and I was like, come on, I'm trying to find any different way. I think because I've always been quite outgoing, and I've always just, not so much in real life. In real life, I'm quite nervous and anxious, but on the internet, I thought like, it's fine. It's just like if someone doesn't reply to me, that's not the end of the world. So I just always message everyone, hi, can you call? Hi, can you give me advice? Hi, what should I do? And just that ended up meeting loads of really cool people like Dream and Wilbur and Tubbo and just so many people that like helped me along the way. Once you get to about 4,000 to 5,000 subscribers, you explode, you hit 30,000, and then you stop. And that happened with about 3, 4, 5 YouTubers that happened just before me. But when I sort of exploded and kept going, like it didn't stop. And I think that was when I went, oh, I don't know what I'm doing. This is cool. Like the pattern isn't like this is a mystery and I can solve it because like it went wrong. I kept going and it only slowed down from I think a few, like when I started gaining like 7,000, around 90,000. And that was sort of, this is much different to what I thought it was. There's a lot more to this. And I think that sort of lit up a switch that was like, this is cool as
Why did you keep exploding, do you think?
Well, I think my two things was I was doing Skyblock, which was a massive trend in Minecraft at the time. And as Minecraft was starting to come back, it was like, there was quite a demand for it. And I think I sort of injected a lot more of my personality into my videos. So I learned a lesson around 3,000 subscribers. I got banned on my favorite Minecraft server because I was making too many like cheating jokes. And I know I shouldn't have been, but I just want to do anything like to get views because I was like, man, I want to. And in that month I was banned, I was like, man, this sucks, because it was just, I've been going for so long now, trying anything, my views were going down, and I had about 4,000, 3,000 subscribers. I was like, dude, this sucks. And I think during those few weeks, I went, right, you know, I need to take this seriously, I really want to try it. And I made this one video called The Fastest Clicking Method. I did that, and then that video was the best performing video I've ever posted. It got I think it got like 1,000 views in 3 days. And that for me sort of triggered, oh my God, the more effort you put into something being good, like what I want it to be, the more views it will get. So as Hypixel blew up, I made an effort to still enjoy Skyblock and this new game and like accept YouTube, but still make it about me, still make it about what I wanted to do. And that was quite, that was a huge eye-opening experience to have just before sort of my popularity.
You've got quite a unique experience in that you became incredibly famous while the world was all locked away. Was that very strange then to come out of lockdown and suddenly be recognized?
Me, I went into lockdown, you know, I'd never had anyone come up to me. I was, you know, like no one would ever look at me. I didn't like have the feeling of being watched while I was in public. It was so weird because I was starting to get recognized. I didn't know that this was, and so were all my friends. Like I wasn't in this boat alone. But I think that was like going into college and that progressing. Each week I went, because I had one day of college a week that lasted for like 6-7 hours. And like each week, getting recognized more and more and more, and people in my college knowing who I was and looking at me. Yeah, it was weird. I was quite scared of people for a while. I almost dropped out of college really early on because I just couldn't really handle it. I was like, this is just, you know, I'm so happy with all the things that have happened, but this byproduct is not something I signed up for. And so getting my head around that and like deciding if I can handle it or not was a really tasking process I sort of went through.
You said you grew up watching people like youll and Vicstar and people and guys like that. Is it weird now to be having watched these people, meeting them in real life, doing videos with them, doing the same things? Is that a very strange feeling? Yeah,
it's a really strange, and it never really goes away. And every so often, every few weeks, I have another moment where I'm like, just a brief moment of reflection where I'm like, holy shit, like, I'm friends with Chase. Like, oh my God. And like, yeah, it is super, super strange. But I think if there's one thing I've learned about YouTube over the years, it's that everyone who makes things is like just a person. Like no one's, you know, no matter how much money you have or how much popular, like it doesn't really matter because we all have the same amount of time in the day and we all have to like sleep and we all like need to So it's like, as much as it's been like, wow, like this is incredible, I think the biggest thing I've learned is like, yeah, we're all just people talking into a camera.
Have you spoken to any of those guys that blew up when they were your age? Like, have they given you any advice as to what to look out for?
Yeah, yeah, I mean, they've all been really, really supportive, honestly. I think when I had about 6-7 million, I had a call with KSI, and he was like so wonderful to me, you know. And being like one of the most intimidating guys in YouTube, and someone I've always really, really looked up to, like him being like, yeah, dude, like it is really overwhelming, and him telling me his experiences with it, but being like, you're gonna be okay, and you're doing really good, and keep doing what you're doing. And like, he was super supportive. Will was wonderful. I met him in London, and he was just sort of really, really nice. I'm trying to think of other people I mean, basically everyone I've looked up to, Mr. Beast, KSI Neistat, would like all have been really helpful and wonderful, and I've had calls with most of them for advice, but just sort of the comfort of knowing that this is something they've gone through, and like I'm not alone in this, and yes, this is stupid, and this is weird, and we all are in the same boat, that we think what's happening is absurd, was really, really, yeah, it was really comforting.
Is there a single moment you can think about in the last few years you've gone, I can't believe I'm here?
Basically, most days. Yeah, so I think me and Will have been making this book at the minute, and I'd like get up and like every day I'd go around to his house and we'd just like sit and work on it. And when we finished it and we like read through it and showed our mate Shubble it, she was like, this is really cool. Being able to like hold it was like, oh my God, like this is, we've made this now, and it's gonna like be in a Waterstones that we walk past every. And you know, I go and Waterstones so much with my mum, and like being like, this is stupid. Like the first words of it say, "Among Us." There, I said it. Welcome to my book, idiot. So I was like, what? Like, you could just do. I think discovering that there's no rules and that you can just do what you think is funny. Like I think like really realizing, oh my God, there's not like a rule book you have to do. You don't like have to say anything. You don't have to take sponsorships. You don't have to be corporate. Like you just say what you want. Like I can just post me going like that on Instagram like this second and it's there. Because I always assume there must have been some sort of rule book. And as I've gotten bigger and realized there isn't, and as I've gotten bigger and more opportunities have came, I can go, right, I want to do my book, but I want it to be stupid. And it's just like such a passion project as well for me and Will. Like all the income we've made from it, like it's dedicated to our mate Technoblades, obviously before all the stuff happened. Yeah, and all the income me and Will receive from the book is going to be donated to Sarcoma UK. But so it's just a passion project because we thought it would be fun. And I think like that happening and being an actual thing has been pretty magical as well.
You talked before about not having like the kind of support network of friends around you. Obviously now you've come up with this group of guys who are all creating content together. Has it been nice to have people like Tubbo and Wilbur and all around you? Oh,
it's been amazing, man. I wouldn't have wished to do it with anyone else. Like, this experience can be lonely. Like, I've spent so many times just sat by myself in my room, a bit teary, like freaked out and overwhelmed. But especially recently as well, like being able to go through that with people and with Tubbo and Wilbur and Jack and like Nicky and just like everyone. Even recently, you know, me and Rambo have been in quite a similar boat with our problems, because we're both quite overwhelmed and we both have sort of a lot on and it's been quite freaky. But me and him would chat for like hours every night at TwitchCon until like 4 or 5 a.m. because we both sort of have the same problems, but we've both came up with our own individual solutions. And being able to sort of mix and match that and complement each other and like keep each other going, especially with Rambo recently, has been, in like the past few weeks, has been really, like, I couldn't be more thankful. I don't think I wanted to do this with anyone else in the world. And like, yeah, I'm just really lucky that I haven't been by myself as well.
You seem like a really happy, funny guy.
Well, that's what they say.
But has the fame ever had any negative impacts on your mental health?
Yes. I mean, I think the biggest thing, because so much of my like image on the internet has been about my face, especially when I was having that huge sort of explosion on YouTube. Every thumbnail, and it still has been for the past 2 years, has had my face in this very top in it. And I think that has been weird because I'm just sort of the feeling of being watched in public. Like you have this indescribable feeling when someone's staring at you. Like right now, I'm looking at you and you can just like feel it. But when I'm looking at you away, like you just know, right? You just really get when someone's staring at you. And having to get just like used to the feeling of just always having that. And even if you're not looking, you can like feel it behind you. You know when Will Byers goes like that at the end of Stranger Things, you really like have that. I think getting used to that and getting used to getting recognized and having to view it in an optimistic light and not being like, bye-bye privacy, has been, it was a real challenge. And there were many months of being, you know, like sad because I get quite overwhelmed easily. As much as you can have a million positive things happening and trying to appreciate and like take in, having one huge, overwhelming thing that's in my face, I found really difficult for the early 2021. But being able to stream and do YouTube and like being able to make something got me through that. And like seeing the amount of people that are actually there and care about the things that I'm making and like to support me and like the creators and like everyone, it totally got me through it.
I can ask, do you feel like because you blew up so quickly, do you feel a pressure to maintain that growth?
I think for a long time I did really feel that pressure, especially sort of late last year, early this year. I think loads of us did because the way YouTube works is it like ebbs and flows. You know, you look at anyone's social blade, they have their biggest month and their lowest month, and a middle month, and a high month and a low month. But for us, it was all up, then all down. And that was, you know, like the psychology of that really like affected me. And I had quite a long time of being numbers driven and being like about the byproduct and not the original thing I was making. But as I've gone to more conventions and as I said, like connected with people, I've realized what I'd much rather like have is whether it's a few thousand or currently it's like 2 to 5 million people that will watch my video. Like I'd rather have 2 million people that really connect with what I do and really enjoy it and really want to talk about it and want to know what I'm going to do next than like 100 million people that see it and go, okay, and then watch the next thing, you know? It's more important to me, I think, to have that like actual connection with people. And success can be like many different things, like how a few thousand people feel about my video, and you know, like the reception of that in comments or in like just how it's talked about in the future and years to come. I think there's so many elements of success than just this rampant sort of view flurry. And I find that element of YouTube fun. I find that strategy really fun, but I'm not like good at predicting it. So I really enjoy expanding on something when I've made something I'm proud of and it sort of aligns with what I want to do next. But I think like, in a way I wouldn't have answered this last year. Like, no, I'm not obsessed with getting 20 million subscribers. I'm just obsessed with those few million people, whether that's 2 million or 5 million or 10 million like it was last year. And maybe in the future it'll be 5,000, keeping those people like, yeah, making those people proud and making them think, God, it's been 2 years I've been watching him and he's still putting in effort and he's still spicing things up and doing new things and going back to the old things with the new stuff. So continuing that effort, you know, never stopping that effort because I think it's really important, and aligning that with what I'm doing. So in the future, if I need to upload less or more, that's like cool, but never I'm never doing a half job with a full smile.
You're in now the kind of next generation of YouTubers, and you've seen people like Logan Paul and KSI who've become these big names. Where do you think you're going to be in 10 years, or where do you want to be?
So I think my whole thing is sort of like specifically doing what I enjoy and like putting that out there. So for me, like my friend Rambo is always streaming different horror games and a different game every night. I still stream Minecraft most evenings because the game I love so much is Minecraft. And I think just like as time goes on, trying new, like I never thought I'd make a book or do a show, but like making an effort to try new things and then going, do I like that? Did I not like that? Like, do I like music? Do I like doing bigger projects? Do I like, you know, and for me going, holy shit, I do like being on a stage. This is cool. Holy shit, I do like going to conventions. I didn't even know I could do that. And then, you know, maybe in a few months going, oh, okay, music's good. This is a really good way to express myself. And just being like really open to the opportunities of like what I want to do next. And for me, the best way of doing that has been being like, right, what can I do now that I couldn't have done a year ago? Like, because now I can make a serious video, and now I have more people that can help me, so I can make like a bigger Minecraft mod video, and now I can stream in my like apartment. Like, what things can I do that are like different? But what that would be, like what thing I'd hold that I could show you as my video from next year, I have no idea. But I really like that I don't know. I think it keeps it really exciting for me and hopefully for the audience.
Are you really proud of how far you've come?
Yeah, I'm the best. No, I think...
We'll do a hard cut there.
The video just ends. Yeah, I think so. I think my past self will be pretty chuffed. I think it's taking a long time to sort of take in the things that have happened. But as I do each new project and like, I think most of this I can't comprehend, because why should I be able to? That I'm sat in a set and I'm 18 and I'm not at university studying editing like I should be, you know? Like, I saw all my photos of all my schoolmates going to prom. Everyone was at prom, and I was just like not in any of the photos, and I was like, man, why aren't I there? Like, this is where I should be, you know? See, like, me and my friend Aaron were just not, because we dropped out of college and now I moved down south, and like, I was like, that's weird. I can't take in any of the millions or any of the play buttons or world records, or like, I don't get that. But I think when I have those few moments at TwitchCons and VidCons, or just in the street or with my friends, or where I'm thinking that like I really can take in, like I get, being able to just cherish those moments is something that's became increasingly important to me. And yeah, I think I'm starting to get it. As each year goes by, I feel a bit more like I get it a little bit, but not very much.
You seem like a very nice, grounded young man.
I'm the best, yeah. Subscribe.
I remember when it kind of first started off, a group of us were just out to dinner, and we very darkly, sort of said, who's going to be next? And we, chatted and came up with a list of about 7 people, and within 6 months, all of them were gone.